So I guess if I had to put a title to the story, it would be the tale of three contagious whispers. The first whisper, I'll give you a little background on myself. So I was born and raised in Cape May County, New Jersey, three brothers and an adopted brother from Ireland. All three of my brothers and even my adopted brothers were super uber talented in everything they did. My youngest brother, things came really natural to him. He pick up a ball, juggle it 100 times, not even blinking an eye. Pick up a basketball, shoot it, nail it right away. My other brother, academically, straight A's, close his eyes, kill the SATs, the ACTs, performed really strongly in everything he did. My adopted brother, who I'll fast forward and tell you a little bit about, wound up playing in the English Premier League, professional soccer, winds up playing with the New York Red Bull, super talented, everything came very easy. Then there came me, child number three, always looked up to my brothers, looked up to my younger brothers because everything came really easy to them. And I struggled a lot in the academic world, in the athletic world. But along came whisper number one. I was sitting at a Division III soccer game, and my father whispered in my ear, "I want you to watch this kid right here, Anthony. Watch number 10. And I remember, and my dad was usually a soft-spoken man, former police chief, kind of kept his personality close to his chest. And so I really perked up, and I was watching number 10 the whole game. Okay, number 10, he's on the ball, he's doing a lot. He looks like a player, pretty cool. At the end of the game, my father whispered in my ear, he's like, "That guy's an All-American, and he'll always be an All-American." And that whisper stayed with me. I was 13 years old, and I remember saying, "Man, I want to be an All-American." Didn't really know what it meant. I thought I was already American already. I knew it had something to do with sports, because I've always heard about All-American football players, but I never heard of an All-American soccer player. So I was like, I want to be an All-American. Pretty cool. So throughout my high school career, people would ask me, "What do you want to do?" I say, "I want to be an All-American." And I always get blank stares like, what is this kid on about? And so I would try, and I would learn about, well, in order to be an All-American, I have to work hard. I got to get better at everything I'm doing. So start practicing harder than anybody else. Start working out late nights. Start to really learn about what it takes to be an All-American soccer player. So senior year in high school, just hit puberty. So I was like young and small. All these other guys, I was the smallest junior around, and I just hit puberty, which is when you're 17. I think it's 2 years too late. And colleges weren't really coming after me. So I wound up going Division II to a school in Erie, Pennsylvania called Mercyhurst College. But always, again, was driven by that whisper to be an All-American. Fast forward 4 years, I wound up being a first-team All-American, super excited, and felt really rewarded about what I was doing. And I go on to getting drafted. Remember, Division II, not Division I. All my brothers played Division I ball. One went to Naval Academy, one went to Temple University, one skipped high school or college altogether and turned pro in England. So, I was still feeling, okay, being an All-American means something, but how can I take this to the next level? So most All-Americans in other sports, because again, you didn't have much history about soccer being a smaller sport in America, would make that progression into the pros. So my junior, senior year in the college, I was always thinking, how do I make that next step? So again, was never the best player on the team. Wound up being a first-team All-American based on the hard work I put in. Got lucky with a lot of goals, being at the Division II level. My body type, as you could tell, more suited for hockey rather than soccer. So I was able to physically push some people around to get that All-American status. But it drove me to the next level and to the second whisper. And so as I'm sitting around all these Division I All-Americans, I was invited to the MLS Combine, and I'm the only Division II player there. And I remember sitting next to the Herman Trophy winner, which is equivalent to the Heisman winner in football. And I remember I was like, man, that's Lucio Gonzalez. Man, Creighton University. Awesome, I'm going to be on his team. This is really cool. And he looked over at me, and we were talking. I'm like, hey, we're on the same team. What type of forward are you? And he looked over at me. He's like, I'm the kind of forward who's going to be drafted number 1. And I was like, kind of got red in the face. Other people heard it and laughed at it. So I guess I was being labeled as a Division II player. So that whisper, even though it was heard through like 3 different rows, drove me to saying, gosh, I want to show that I'm just as good as Lucio Gonzalez. Now, long story short, Lucio was drafted number 1. I was at the draft table, ready to get drafted. I was never drafted. And so I was driven to saying, man, I can't wait to run across and come across Lucio again. So I went to a hard route, being a first-team All-American again. I remember sending about 25 faxes back then, real faxes, into the soccer offices, into these general managers saying, hey, this is why I think I'm going to be successful as a pro. Give me a chance. Let me come to boot camp. Let me come to the tryouts. Let me come to the camp. Long story short, that whisper winds up driving me to a 10-year professional career. One other half whisper that was pretty funny, and I think it goes to the contagious side of things. My 10th year as a pro, and I was MLS, AAA, and AAA in here was called A-League back in the day. It wouldn't be on ESPN 1 or 2 or 3. It was usually on like Fox Soccer World or Spike Channel, or then online where you can actually stream it live. So it was, the life of the soccer player and the journey was up and down like any other entrepreneurial journey. But the second 2.5 whisper that came was my final year on the training room table. I'm getting my ankles taped, and I have a lot of scars on my body. Again, I played soccer like a hockey player. So my hand scars, you could probably see it on my face. You could probably see some teeth still chipped from some of the days. I played soccer like a hockey player. ACL, hernia, ankles, pins, you name it, I have it. The last whisper, the half whisper I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to challenge you on the final whisper. The half whisper comes in my final year in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm sorry, my last whisper came my final year in Philadelphia at the Spectrum, playing with the Philadelphia Kicks. I'm on the training room table, chewing some gum, getting ready for a game. I think I had a Walkman, because Walkman, I'm a little bit older than all of you guys, so listening to some music, getting ready for the game. And again, you can see my last year as a pro was indoor soccer. Not the sexiest, not the biggest, not the most attractive financially. But I was playing at the Spectrum in front of my family, which was pretty cool. It's pretty rewarding. One of my last games, I'm on the training room table, getting my right ankle taped. If I took my shoe off, you see the scar. The doctor stops, grabs another doctor, another doctor, another doctor. 3 doctors come over, and they grab me, and they whisper to each other. I'm like, what is this all about? And they look over at me, son, we got to take you to the emergency room. You have MRSA, and I think you just contaminated this whole locker room. And one of my final games as a pro, they actually canceled the game altogether at the Spectrum, which my buddies still make fun of me to this day. And when I think about contagious, when I was listening to Vanessa and Zach talking, I was like, well, I better get up in there and talk about these whispers of contagious. So I'm throwing that little half whisper in there. My final whisper is to you all. As the owner of Benjamin's Desk and being privileged to be around so many top-class entrepreneurs like Vanessa, like Andy, and like so many of you, having a contagious whisper in someone's journey can mean more than you can imagine. And so when you come to Benjamin's Desk, we're always thinking about how can we provide a whisper that pushes people to achieve success and to go after what they love. That's my Startup Story Slam. Thank you, guys.